Mr. Casmark, will you open the meeting, please?
Mayor, I'd like to call the regular meeting of the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park for January 6, 2011 to order. On roll call, council members Catamagna.
Here.
Castiglia.
Here.
Conboy.
Here.
Trowinski.
Here.
Work. Here. Bonsino.
Here.
Mayor Mola.
Here.
We have a quorum.
Ladies and gentlemen, will you please stand? We're going to have our fire chaplain, Mr. Angelo Castronova, give us the sermon and or the invocation, excuse me, and then we'll have a pledge of allegiance.
This is a reading from Ecclesiastes. There is an appointed time for everything, and a time for every affair under the heavens, a time to be born and a time to die, a time to plant and a time to uproot the plant, a time to kill and a time to heal, a time to tear down and a time to build, a time to weep and a time to laugh, a time to scatter stones and a time to gather them, a time to embrace and a time to be far from embraces, a time to seek and a time to lose, a time to keep and a time to cast away, a time to rend and a time to sow, a time to be silent and a time to speak, a time to love and a time to hate, a time of war and a time of peace. Mayor Mola, members of the council, family members, fellow citizens, my brothers in the fire service. We gather this evening to mark the beginning of a new year. I wish all of our officers all the best. And out of all things, let us take some time to remember our fallen captain, Kenny Adamo. Although our hearts are filled with sorrow at this great loss, the best way that we can honor Kenny in a lasting tribute is for us to strive to be more like him and to follow his ways and adopt his virtues. So now let us have a moment of silence in his memory. May he rest in peace. Now let us pray. Heavenly Father, your knowledge, your will is best. The strength of years which wind ahead are so dim to our imperfect vision, yet so clear to yours. Our fears are premature in you, O Lord. All time hath full provision. Amen.
We'll now have the pledge of allegiance.
Hold it. You're
have more.
The color guard is going to
I'm sorry.
present.
Ladies and gentlemen, we'll have the Pledge of Allegiance. We'll salute the flag held by the Honor Guard. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. You all be seated, please. Whereas Chapter 231 of the Public Laws of the State of New Jersey requires at the commencement of every meeting a statement by the presiding officer, now therefore be advised that the meeting requirements of this meeting have been published in an annual notice in the Record of Hackensack and the Herald News of Woodland Park, and by posting such notice in the office of the Borough Clerk, as well as in a public place within the municipal building, and by notifying interested citizen. Said notice was posted on January 1, 2011. And ladies and gentlemen, let me just repeat these dates. This is being videoed for Cablevision. It'll be on channel 77. It'll be on 12 noon on Tuesday, 4 p.m. on Thursday, and 11 a.m. on Friday. That's channel 77. I think it's also channel 76. So if you want to see what happens again, Or you can check it out on our website. We have it on our website. Okay? Thank you. Mr. Clerk?
Mayor, at this time, I'd like to deviate from the regular order of business. This evening, we have with us members of the Elmwood Park Volunteer Fire Department and the installation of their officers for 2011 and 2012. At this time, Chief, if you'd like to bring your officers forward, we will first swear in the lieutenants from the Elmwood Park Volunteer Fire Department, Patrick Downs, Edward Mireski, Stephen Roberts, and Robert Chavasta, Jr. Mr. Mayor?
Yes. Which would you like to come up? Gentlemen, why don't you come up here so that everybody can see your face? Do you have anybody that you would prefer to hold a Bible? Any wife or anyone? Okay, then we'll have our fire commission. Why don't you get on the other side? Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Would you put your left hand on the Bible, raise your right? He's going to do it for all of you. Put your left hand on his shoulder. There you go. And if they push and they all fall this way, will you repeat after me, please? I repeat your name.
I, Patrick Downs,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey.
and I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
I will bear true faith and allegiance to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of the office of
all the duties of the office of,
Fire Lieutenant. So help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations, gentlemen, and thank you. And no hands here.
Gentlemen.
Gentlemen, you have to sign the oath. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to install 4 more times. The last time, you will repeat with me, because you'll know it by then. May I? Go ahead, I'm sorry.
Mayor, at this time, I'd like to have the chief come forward. The fire captains, in memoriam, Kenneth Adamo, Robert Daubenberger, Paul Gleba, and Russell Fenn.
Is there anyone, any wife or relative who wishes to hold the Bible? If not, we'll keep Fire Commissioner Chewinski, liaison. Place your left hand on the Bible, raise your right, and if you will, just place your left hand on the person in front of you, shoulder. There you go. We ready, gentlemen? I repeat your name.
I, Robert Daubenberger,
Do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
of the United States
and in this state, under the authority of the people,
under the authority of the people,
and that I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of the office of captain
all the duties of the office of captain
to the best of my ability.
to the best of my ability.
So help me God. Congratulations, gentlemen. Thank you. No, we have more. Yeah. He's going to call him.
At this time, Chief, if you'll send forward William Shadwell, 2nd Battalion Chief.
Is he here? Is Jack McGrath here?
It's coming up.
He's right behind that nice big man.
There he is.
Where?
Right behind him.
Oh, there he is.
We will have our former fire prevention chief, longtime fireman. You going to read the oath of office?
Thank you.
Will you please hold the Bible? You hold the Bible. Place your left hand. That's it. You come in here. Place your left hand on the Bible. Raise your right. Jack, you have to speak in here, or they're not going to hear you on the TV.
William Shadwell, do you solemnly swear that you will support the Constitution of the United States and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey, that you will bear true faith and allegiance to the same and to the government established in the United States and in this state under the authority of the people, that you will faithfully, impartially, and justly perform all duties of the office of 2nd Battalion Chief?
That's it. Thank you. Congratulations. Congratulations. Yeah.
Congratulations. Stay safe.
Chief, at this time, if you'll send forward Michael Pressler, 1st Battalion Chief.
May I have Mrs. Pressler come up to hold the Bible, or any other member of the family? Which one? It's the other one.
Somebody's excited.
Why don't you get here? Is your left hand the Bible? How you doing, honey? You okay?
Say hi. Say hi already.
Even she's taller than I am.
She learns.
Repeat repeat your name, please.
I, Michael Pressler,
Do solemnly swear
solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same,
and to the state in which the government has been established,
the state that the government is established,
and to the, under the authority of the people,
and the authority of the people.
I will faithfully,
I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of the office of 1st Battalion Chief,
all the duties of the office of 1st Battalion Chief,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. Thank you. We have to change that with cute little young ladies that we have. I lost my place.
Congratulations, Mike. Stay safe.
Chief, at this time, I'd like to call forward Scott Vitale, Assistant Fire Chief.
And anyone from the Mattel family wish to hold a Bible? Come up, please. Another little one, okay.
Hey, Megan.
Not so little.
Hey, Megan.
Would you hold the Bible? Come right here. How about your son holding it? So that she's facing out.
Now we're good.
Okay. Camera's here, we'll have to do that. Okay? Wait a minute. Why don't you come in here so we can see you too? There you go. All right? I repeat your name.
I, Scott Mutel,
Do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the
and the,
United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same and to the governments established in the United States
to the same and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people,
And I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform the duties
and justly perform the duties
of the office of Assistant Chief,
of the office of Assistant Chief,
so help me God.
so help me God.
Congratulations. And we didn't get a picture of her face.
Scott, nice job, Scott. Megan, I'll see you at the gym tomorrow. Congratulations. Candy's on me.
And finally, I'd like to call our new chief, although not so new, of the Elmwood Park Volunteer Fire Department, Chief Michael J. Sulik, Jr.
Some introduction.
You gonna hold the Bible?
going to hold her.
Joel, gather around so that we can take a picture. And this is a semi-historic event because this is the second time that we have this young man being sworn in as chief. It's the first time in the history of East Patterson, Elmwood Park, that we have someone be appointed chief twice.
We
And-
recycle.
And we know you're going to get it right this time, the same as you got it right last time. Thank you. Repeat your name. I, Michael, left hand, right hand up. I, repeat your name,
I, Michael Sulik,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
that I will support the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and the Constitution of the State of New Jersey,
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
and I will bear true faith and allegiance
to the same
to the same
and to the governments established in the United States
and to the governments established in the United States
and in this state,
and in this state,
under the authority of the people.
under the authority of the people,
And I will faithfully,
and I will faithfully,
impartially,
impartially,
and justly perform
and justly perform
all the duties of the office
all the duties of the office of Chief of Department.
of Chief of the Department. Congratulations and thank you. Chief, you want to say a few words?
Absolutely.
Good job, good job.
Signs what's official first.
Yeah.
Thank you. Whoa.
We'll say
It's easier the second time around.
I think I'm just as nervous now as I was before. Today is it's a bittersweet day for me.
And probably all the members of the department, all the officers, our fellow firefighter, fellow officer, and most of all, our friend, who's supposed to be sworn in here tonight, is not with us anymore, and I'm sure that he is up above, up in the fire company upstairs, and I hope that he keeps a close watch over us, and I know that he will, and keep us all safe. Last time I was up here, probably standing in this very spot, I made two promises to the department. The first promise I made was, I promised that I'm going to bring everybody home safe. And I did, and I'm going to make that promise again. I promised to bring everybody home safe. The second promise I made years back was that I promised the department that I would work as hard as I possibly can with the members of Fire Company Number 1 and the mayor and council to get us a new rescue truck, and I fulfilled that promise. My second promise for this term is I'm going to ask the mayor and council to enact a new ordinance. I drafted up, it's handwritten now, but I plan on presenting it to them for their next meeting. And my draft reads, Mr. Mayor Mola, council members, we the members of the Elmwood Park Fire Department respectfully request consideration for a new ordinance for the fire department. We are requesting that in case of a line-of-duty death, that some type of health benefits are given to the widow or widower and their dependent children, and these health benefits will continue until the death of the widow or widower and until the children are of age. I hope that we can all work together to come up with this type of an ordinance. Respectfully submitted, myself. That, I'm going to promise I'm going to do the best that I can. Because of the circumstances that happened last week, a lot of things came to light, and I believe that this is very important for us, for all the members of the Elmwood Park Fire Department. I'd like to thank everybody for coming. Oh, I have one more order of business. I would like to call up Fire Chief Gary Ruglio so I could present to him his ex-chief's badge. Congratulations. I'd like to thank everybody for coming. I'd also like to thank our color guard. They did a great job. I'd like to thank Fire Chaplain Angelo Castronova. I swear he gets better every day, that guy. Beautiful job. And everybody here is invited back to Engine Company Number 3 for refreshments. Thank you.
On behalf of the council, I would also like to thank Gary for a great year with the fire, 2 years with the fire department, and wish him luck and continued success working with the fire department. At this time, you going to say a prayer for me?
I'll light a candle.
You'll light a candle for me. That's good. At this time, we're going to have the honor guard dismiss the firemen and proceed out, and then anyone here who wishes to stay for our council meeting, we welcome you. If you're going to go for the food and drink, thank God. God bless you, and have a very healthy and happy New Year.
Attention. Forward. March.
Mr. Kazmark, will you continue the meeting, please?
Thank you, Mayor. Returning to the regular order of business, we have the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of December 16th, 2010.
Hold on.
I just, the state of emergency, say people can go out, and then they get a ticket. How do you know that?
People don't move the car either, you know.
Ladies and gentlemen, if we can have your cooperation, we'd like to continue our meeting. Ladies and gentlemen, if we can continue our meeting and your discussions can continue out in the foyer.
I canceled the last time.
And there are some people who either don't even... Ladies and gentlemen, please.
Mayor, at
Thank
this
you.
time, we'll continue with the regular order of business. We have the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting of December 16th, 2010, the executive session of December 16th, 2010, and the reorganization meeting of January 1st, 2011.
May I have a motion, please, for all three? So moved. Moved by Mr. Boncino, second by Mr. Castiglia. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Trewinski?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, this evening under ordinances, we have Resolution 18-11, introduce ordinance 11-01 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled An Ordinance to Fix the Salary, Wage, and Compensation of the Employees of the Department of Public Works in the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, from January 1st, 2011 through December 31st, 2011, be passed and adopted on first reading. And be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, January 20th, 2011, at 8 p.m., or as soon thereafter as the same can be heard, at which time and place all persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be, and he is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Castiglia and Mr. Conboy. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Council members Catamagna?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Trewinski?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 19-11, introduce ordinance 11-02 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled An Ordinance to Fix the Salary, Wage, and Compensation for the White-Collar Employees, members of the Elmwood Park Employee Association, which supersedes ordinance number 07-4 for the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, for the year 2011, be passed and adopted on first reading, and be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, January 20th, 2011, at 8 p.m., or as soon thereafter as same can be heard, at which time and place all persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be, and he is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal paper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Conboy, second.
Second.
Mr. Work, discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Trewinski?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 20-11, introduce ordinance 11-03 on first reading. Be it resolved that an ordinance entitled An Ordinance to Fix the Salary, Wage, and Compensation of the Officers, Employees, and Servants of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, for the year 2011, be passed and adopted on first reading. And be it resolved that a final hearing on said ordinance will be heard in the municipal building on Thursday, January 20th, 2011, at 8 p.m., or as soon thereafter as the same can be heard, at which time and place all persons interested in said ordinance can be heard. Be it further resolved that the Borough Clerk be, and he is hereby authorized to advertise in a legal newspaper a notice of introduction and final hearing as required by law.
Motion, please.
So moved. Second.
Conboy, Mr. Castiglia, discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamagna,
This one I answered, no, I voted.
Castiglia,
Yes.
Conboy,
Yes.
Trewinski,
Yes.
Work,
Yes.
Bonsino.
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, this evening under resolutions, we have Resolution 21-11, appointment of police towers. Whereas in accordance with Borough Ordinance, applications have been received for police towers in the Borough of Elmwood Park for the calendar year 2011. Whereas the Police Department has completed a background investigation on all applicants and has reported that all applicants be approved for appointment. And whereas all applicants have paid the required fee of $400. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the following names be and are hereby appointed as police towers for the Borough of Elmwood Park for the calendar year 2011 as listed.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr.
Second.
Castiglia, second. I'm sorry. Mr. Conboy, any discussion? Ladies and gentlemen, there are 8 towers in town, 8. And we're one of the few, if not the only town, that opens it up to everybody to be a tower in our community, and it's evenly shared with the police department in control of anyone who needs a towing job, so that it's just not one tower who gets the whole package. Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Serwinski?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 22-11, Mid-Bergen Regional Health Commission Agreement for Public Health Services. Whereas the parties desire to contract for the furnishing of health services of a technical and professional nature by the Mid-Bergen Regional Health Commission to the Borough of Elmwood Park pursuant to NJSA 40:8A-1 et set and NJSA 26:3A2-1 et set. Now therefore, in conjunction with the terms and conditions herein set forth, the parties agree to as follows. 1, the Mid-Bergen Regional Health Commission shall provide duly licensed personnel to carry out the following public health activities: environmental health services, registered environmental health specialist for up to 13 hours per week. All above activities shall meet recognized public health practice standards of performance for the local boards of health in New Jersey. 2, the Mid-Bergen Regional Health Commission shall provide the services specified herein from January 1st, 2011 through December 31st, 2011. The cost of the contract, $42.30 per hour. The procedure for payments is monthly. The Borough of Elmwood Park shall be solely responsible for personnel matters pertaining to its employees, and Midland Regional Health Commission shall be solely responsible for its employees.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Boncino, second.
Second.
Mr. Conboy, discussion?
Yes, Mayor, this would be a person that we pay $42.30 an hour. What kind of service are you going to give this person?
Mr. Clerk, would you answer that question, please?
This is for sanitary inspection services, Council.
Sanitary inspection. We have somebody there now, right?
We contract currently with this vendor, Mid-Bergen Regional Health Commission.
Can the health official do this kind of work?
There are certain inspections that overlap. However, I believe, and I'm speaking out of school because I don't have confirmation of this, that there are certain inspections that only a sanitary inspector can provide.
In other words, our health officials are not qualified to do this inspection.
She can do some, there are some overlap, but I don't believe she can do all of them. But I can confirm that with you tomorrow.
And this is about 13 hours a week. Is that what you're saying?
Yes, up to 13 hours a week, depending on the need and how many inspections are scheduled during that particular
Or
week.
up to it? Okay, thank you.
Call the roll, please.
Council members Catamani?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Serwinski?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 23-11, appointment of Public Agency Compliance Officer. Be it resolved that the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, that Keith Kasmark, RMC, CMC, be and is hereby designated as the Public Agency Compliance Officer for the year 2011 for the Borough of Elmwood Park.
Motion, please.
So moved. Second.
Second.
Mr. Work and Mr. Stiglia? Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Serwinski?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Bonsino?
Yes. To being last. Low.
Resolution 24-11, appointment of licensed water operator. Whereas the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey recognize the need for a licensed water operator for the municipal water system. And whereas pursuant to the provisions of NJSA 19:45A-20.5 et set, referred to as the New Jersey Pay-to-Play Law, the Mayor and Council solicited proposals on November 22nd, 2010 for the services. And whereas the Borough of Elmwood Park received one proposal to that request. Whereas the proposal was opened on December 9th, 2010, and evaluated by the Mayor and Council to determine if the responses met the needs of the Borough of Elmwood Park. Now therefore be it resolved that the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, do hereby secure the services of D2L Associates Incorporated, 109 Pompton Avenue, Cedar Grove, New Jersey, at a monthly rate of $1,750, term ending December 31st, 2011.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Conboy?
Second.
Second, Mr. Work. Discussion?
If I may, wasn't Scott going for his license on this?
Yes, he is. He hasn't completed all the courses. Scott is our DPW superintendent.
Another thing, I think we should put this back out, see if we can get any more. We only had one taker on this thing?
This is who we've had for years. If there's anybody else who wants to apply for it, they can.
Yeah, but we only got one, right, Keith? That was it?
Yes.
One. In my opinion, we should try and get two more, at least. Maybe put it back out.
But these people have been with us for a while, right?
Yes.
Last year and
Yes.
so on.
$17.50 a month, exactly what does he do every month?
He inspects the water and anything else that we require with the water.
Those,
I
where
don't
does
even
he
know who he
inspect
looks like, to
water?
be honest with you.
Where does he inspect the water? Is this the people come around the house?
No,
There should be somebody come to my office.
no,
Is it part of this?
No, he's got a license. What happens is they collect samples every year, I know that, and they test it.
Every month.
Every month?
Every month, coliform 22 are required.
But you take the samples, right? You pick the samples up.
No, they take them themselves, we're not allowed to handle them.
You pick them up from each residence that you put it out.
That's only Lennon coliform.
we're not getting all
sorry.
that information on the video because it's
Yeah,
our
never mind.
superintendent in the back speaking.
No, I just think we should put it out to see if we get somebody else, even though there's only one taker. That's my opinion.
I think
Whatever
these
you wanna
people
do.
also do the next thing too.
Call the roll, please.
Yeah,
Council members,
$6,000 a
Catamagna?
month, right?
I know, tell me. Yes, yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Chawinski?
No.
Work?
Yes.
Monsino?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 25-11, appointment of licensed sewer operator. Whereas the mayor and council of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey recognize the need for a licensed sewer operator for the municipal sewer system, and whereas pursuant to the provisions of NJSA 19:45A-20.5 et set, referred to as the New Jersey pay-to-play law, the mayor and council solicited proposals on November 22, 2010 for this service. And whereas the Borough of Elmwood Park received one proposal to that request, and whereas the proposal was opened on December 9, 2010, and evaluated by the mayor and council to determine if responses met the needs of the Borough of Elmwood Park. Now therefore be it resolved by the mayor and council of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, do hereby secure the services of D2L Associates, Inc., 109 Pompton Avenue, Cedar Grove, New Jersey, at a monthly rate of $1,300 a month, term ending December 31, 2011.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Boncino, second.
Second.
Second, Mr. Castiglia. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Council members, Catamagna?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Chawinski?
No.
Work?
Yes.
Monsino?
Yes.
Motion carries. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate and with your advice and consent appoint Quaker & Quaker LLC as municipal planner for a period of 1 year, term ending December 31st, 2011. Respectfully submitted, Richard A. Mola, Mayor. Resolution 26-11, appointment of municipal planner. Be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the appointment of Quaker & Quaker LLC as municipal planner, term ending December 31st, 2011 be, and the same is hereby confirmed.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Castiglia, second.
Second.
Mr. Boncino, discussion? Call the roll, please.
Yes, Mayor, if I may.
Yes.
I think with this one, too, we should put out again, because like I say, there's only one proposal on this. One guy came in, that was it. Sometimes what happens over the years, if we use the same planner, a lot of people say, why should I even bother, because we have the same person here. So I think it should go out again. It won't hurt anything, Mayor. I don't think it'll hurt anything putting out, asking again on it.
Well, this is a new master planner. So
Right.
he's new, so we can't use that argument that we want somebody else. We have all his
No,
qualifications
I'm not
here.
using that argument. All I'm saying that we only have one person who
Right.
applied. That's why I think, in transparency, it would be nice to see if we can get two more in there.
Well, what we've done is that we're following the fair and open plan by the state of New Jersey, which encourages this, and this gives everybody a chance to submit their qualifications to the borough, and then they're opened by our clerk, and if it goes out on the website, goes out in every possible way, and if people don't do it, we ask for a request for qualifications, and if they don't do it, we have the person who has it, and I feel that Mr. Corker and his son Corker are excellent master planners. They're in a variety of municipalities, and we have to do this again next year, and maybe more people will apply next year.
Mayor, if I may, the only place it goes out, according to us, is the website. Is that correct, Keith?
That's all we're required to under the pay-to-play
Is that what we
statute.
put it in, is the website?
Correct.
Okay, thank you.
Call the roll,
What
please.
happened to the planner last year? He didn't apply at all?
He didn't apply.
He's been with us for how many years?
Absolutely correct.
Since I remember.
Mr. Burgess, yes.
You missed it.
He didn't apply.
Excuse me?
No.
Call the roll, please.
Council members, Catamagna?
I don't know, this one, I don't even know these people here, but I guess you read the resume, Mayor? You have a resume for this?
Excuse me?
You have a resume for these
Oh,
people?
the resume's been in since December 9th, wasn't that correct?
Do we get a copy of this?
Well, what we do with all of these professional submissions is you receive a memo after the day or two after they're submitted, and all of the resumes and proposals are on file in my office. And in that memo, it stipulates any council member that wants to come in to review them has that luxury.
I don't know, because you know what, the other guy did a lot of work. We used to the other guy, and I don't know if it makes any sense. It's been with us since I remember, since I've been here,
It's true.
That's true.
so. I
Maybe he
guess
missed it,
it's
I don't
fine.
know what happened.
He didn't apply at all? He didn't know
Maybe.
anything about it?
He missed it.
He missed it? All right.
On roll call, council members Catamagna,
I have to say no.
Castiglia,
Yes.
Conboy,
Yes.
Chawinski,
No.
Work,
Yes.
Monsino.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 27-11, South Bergen Fire Chiefs Association Mutual Aid Contract. Whereas the South Bergen Fire Chiefs Association, comprised of 19 towns, has provided manpower and equipment for both standby and emergencies for over 40 years. And whereas the need has arisen to have such an agreement in writing. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park that the following towns, Carlstadt, East Newark, East Rutherford, Elmwood Park, Garfield, Hasbrook Heights, Little Ferry, Lodi, Lyndhurst, Maywood, Moonachie, North Arlington, Nutley, Rochelle Park, Rutherford, Saddlebrook, Secaucus, Wallington, and Woodridge, which comprise the South Bergen Chiefs Association, now formally agree in writing to supply equipment and manpower to each other in case of a fire, emergency, and/or standby whenever outside assistance is needed. Fire chiefs shall include a copy of their current alarm code with submission of this agreement. Be it further resolved that there be no cost incurred between the towns. Be it further resolved that this agreement shall be signed annually by the municipal official and the fire chief to designate the municipality's approval. Be it further resolved that the Elmwood Park Fire Department agrees to a multi-year agreement from 2011 through 2018.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Second.
Mr. Catamagna, second. Mr. Work?
Yes.
Any discussion? Ladies and gentlemen, you've heard all those towns, when you're talking about mutual cooperation and towns working with each other, this has gone on for years with all these towns. If there's ever a fire, they will all participate or cover the town that has the fire, so that if there's a second one or whatever develops, we will have coverage in any of these towns. I think it's a great idea, and it's been with us for many, many years. Community sharing, now we call it. Call the roll, please.
Council members Catamagna,
Yes.
Castiglia,
Yes.
Conboy,
Yes.
Chawinski,
Yes.
Work,
Yes.
Monsino.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 28-11, redemption of third-party tax lien. Whereas the tax collector has advised that payment has been received in the amount of $15,896.45 to redeem TTL 10-00015 and subsequent taxes on Block 803, Lot 6 within the borough. And whereas Robert Rothman is holder of certificate TTL number 10-00015 and is therefore entitled to a payment of $15,896.45. Whereas the lien holder also paid a premium at the time of purchase and is entitled to a refund in the same of the amount of $4,000. Now therefore be it resolved by the Mayor and Council of the Borough of Elmwood Park, County of Bergen, State of New Jersey, that approval to issue a check in the amount of $19,896.45 payable to the above lien holder representing the redemption amount and said certificate and a refund of the premium to Robert Rothman of Englewood, New Jersey.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Castiglia?
Second.
Second, Mr. Work. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Council members Catamagna.
Yes.
Castiglia.
Yes.
Conboy.
Yes.
Chawinski.
Yes.
Work.
Yes.
Monsino.
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 29-11, approval of contract agreement between the Borough of Elmwood Park and the Teamsters Local 560 Elmwood Park DPW employees for calendar year 2011. Whereas the Borough of Elmwood Park, through the Negotiations Committee of the Council, has been in the process of negotiating with the Teamsters Local 560, the collective bargaining representative for specified employees in the Elmwood Park Department of Public Works with respect to the terms and conditions of employment covered for DPW employees for the period of January 1st, 2011 through December 31st, 2011. And whereas a salary contract has been developed and drafted by the Council's Negotiation Committee and the Borough Attorney, reflective of the parties' negotiations and mutual understanding relating to such terms and conditions of employment. And whereas the representatives covered of the DPW employees have advised that the form of the salary contract has been approved by the majority of the union membership as accurately reflecting the outcome of the parties' negotiations. Now therefore be it resolved that the council does hereby approve and agree to the terms set forth in the draft of the salary contract. And be it further resolved that the council may authorize the mayor on behalf of the borough to execute the form of the salary contract. Be it further resolved that that the Negotiations Committee or legal counsel be and is hereby authorized to coordinate the full extension of the salary contract by duly authorized representative of the Teamsters Local 560 and the Elmwood Park Department of Public Works employees.
Motion, please.
So moved.
I'm sorry, on my right.
Oh,
Mr.
Stiglia.
Mr. Kaza.
He was first.
Who was first?
Larry.
Larry, second. Mr. Castiglia, first. Who's second? Mr. Conboy. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Kowinski?
Yes.
Work? Yes. Monsino?
Yes.
Motion carries. Resolution 30-11, approval of the contract agreement between the Borough of Elmwood Park and the White Collar Employee Association clerical staff for 2011. Whereas the Borough of Elmwood Park, through the Negotiations Committee of the Council, has been in the process of negotiating with the White Collar Employee Association, the collective bargaining representative for specified employees of Elmwood Park's clerical staff, with respect to the terms and conditions of employment for covered clerical employees for the period of January 1st, 2011 through December 31st, 2011. And whereas a salary contract has been developed and drafted by the Council's Negotiation Committee and the Borough Attorney reflective of the parties' negotiations and mutual understanding relating to such terms and conditions of employment. And whereas the representatives of the covered clerical employees have advised that the form of the salary contract has been approved by the majority of the association's membership as accurately reflecting the outcome of the parties' negotiations. Now therefore be it resolved that the council does hereby approve and agree to the terms set forth in the draft salary contract. Be it further resolved that the council hereby authorizes the mayor on behalf of the borough to execute the form of the salary contract. And be it further resolved that the negotiations committee or legal counsel be and is hereby authorized to coordinate the full execution of the salary contract by a duly authorized representative of the White Collar Employee Association.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Boncino
I second.
and Mr. Catamagna. Any discussion? Call the roll, please.
Council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Kowinski?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Monsino?
Yes.
Motion carried. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate and with your advice and consent appoint Shirley DeVito to the Board of Health for a period of 3 years, term ending December 31st, 2013. Respectfully
May I have a
submitted.
motion, please?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Boncino, second.
Second.
Mr. Conboy, discussion? Call the roll, please.
Council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Cherwinski?
Yes.
Monsino?
Yes.
Work.
Yes.
To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate and with your advice and consent appoint Joanne Birkenbush to the Board of Health for a period of 3 years, term ending December 31st, 2013.
May I have a
Respectfully
motion,
submitted,
please?
Richard A. Mola, Mayor.
May I have a motion?
So moved.
Mr. Catamagna, second. Mr. Work, discussion? Call the roll, please.
On roll call, council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Kowinski?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Monsino?
Yes.
Motion carries. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate, with your advice and consent, appoint Rhea Boyle to the Board of Health for a period of 3 years, term ending December 31st, 2013. Respectfully submitted, Richard A. Mola, Mayor.
May I have a motion,
So
please? Mr. Conboy, second.
Second.
Mr. Boncino, discussion? Call the roll, please.
Council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Kowinski?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Monsino?
Yes.
Motion carries. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate, with your advice and consent, appoint Jeffrey Freitag to the Board of Adjustment for a period of 4 years, term ending December 31st, 2014. Respectfully submitted, Richard A. Mola, Mayor.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Moved by Mr. Catamagna, second by Mr. Castiglia. Discussion? Call the roll, please.
Council members Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Kowinski?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Monsino?
Yes.
Motion carries. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate, with your advice and consent, appoint John Wareka to the Board of Adjustment for a period of 4 years, term ending December 31st, 2014. Respectfully submitted, Richard A. Mola, Mayor.
May I have a motion, please?
So moved.
Second.
Mr.
Sorry.
Mr.
second.
Conboy, second.
That's me.
I'll second.
Mr. Work.
What do you think?
Oh, you second?
I third.
We have to get other loud voices. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Chawinski?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Monsino?
Yes.
Motion carries. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate, and with your advice and consent, appoint James Golombeski to the Board of Adjustment for a period of 4 years, term ending December 31st, 2014. Respectfully submitted, Richard A. Mola, Mayor.
Motion, please.
So moved. Frank.
Mr.
I want to get some points, you know?
Okay. Mr. Catamagna, second?
Second.
Second. Mr. Castiglia. Call the roll, please.
Councilmembers Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Chewinski?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Motion carries. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate and with your advice and consent appoint Kathleen Policano to the Library Board for a period of 5 years, term ending
Good
December
choice.
31st, 2015. Respectfully submitted, Richard A. Mola, Mayor.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr.
A second.
Boncino, and second, Mr. Conboy. Discussion. Call the roll, please.
On roll call, Councilmembers
Yes.
Catamania? Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Chewinski?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Motion carries. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate and with your advice and consent appoint Annabelle Meehan to the Rent Leveling Board for a period of 4 years, term ending December 31st, 2014. Respectfully submitted, Richard A. Mola, Mayor.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Conboy,
Second.
second. Mr. Castiglia, discussion. Call the roll, please.
Councilmembers Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Chewinski?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Motion carries. To the Borough Council, I hereby nominate, with your advice and consent, appoint Sid Rosenfeld to the Rent Leveling Board for a period of 4 years, term ending December 31st, 2014.
Motion, please.
So moved.
Mr. Castiglia, second.
Second.
Mr. Conboy, discussion. Call the roll, please.
Councilmembers Catamania?
Yes.
Castiglia?
Yes.
Conboy?
Yes.
Chewinski?
Yes.
Work?
Yes.
Bonsino?
Yes.
Motion carries. Mayor, under departmental reports, we have the Municipal Court, Department of Public Works, Department of Health, Police Department, Building Department.
Motion to accept all of them.
So moved.
Mr. Conboy, second.
Second?
Mr. Work, discussion. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? And gentlemen, at this time, so that our clerk can keep a good record of this meeting, I am going to nominate and appoint Mr. Ronald Vicari to the Planning Board. Committee reports?
Mayor, I
Can I
also
say
have,
something on that issue,
Oh, yeah, yeah.
real quick?
Go ahead.
I just think it's wrong. It's like, I said this before in the past. One man on two boards, I don't agree with that, Mayor, especially when it has to do with building or zoning. That's all I have to say. I know it's your nomination, there's no,
Well, one
Mayor,
man on
I-
both boards, we have to have someone from the Planning Board. We can do that, and it certainly helps to do it.
But why? I don't understand that.
Because
We were working without him for a while.
other communities have done that, and we've done it in the past.
Why can't be other?
Because I think he's a good man to put on
It's all
both
right.
boards.
Mayor, we don't say nothing about, he's a good man, he's knowledgeable, but you gotta have a new blood. You gotta have some new people there. These people be there 40 years. And tell me, I mean, yeah, they're knowledgeable. Do they do a good job? I don't agree with you. Because I know people go through hell before they get approved many times. Okay? I think a lot of things is personal, and they should be stopped. People should be fair. I know it's your nomination, we have nothing saying, but you know what? Think about it. You should make some changes. I want to work with you.
Thank
know
you.
that I vote with you in many different things here.
Thank
And
you.
I think you're right. But this time, you gotta make the change. Forget about friendship.
Thank you. Is there any
You should
committee?
forget.
Mayor, through you, I apologize. We have, the new agenda tonight is reflective of an application for a raffle from the Elmwood Park Patterson Elks Lodge, number 60.
Motion, you want a motion on that?
Yes.
Motion, please, on the raffle?
So moved. Second.
Moved by Mr. Boncino, second by Mr. Conboy. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So ordered.
Thank you, Mayor.
That's it? Mr. Catamagna?
Yes,
Committee
sir.
report?
Thank you, Mayor. Anyhow, Happy New Year to all of you. And congratulations to the new chiefs of the fire department. Mayor, congratulations, Councilman Vocino, to be the council president. I'm sure that he will do a good job. And I just want to announce that pasta night for tomorrow night has been not canceled, but postponed to next Friday because due to the weather. I saw on TV supposed to get between 3 to 6 inches of snow. Then today I got the alert phone call, so it made me nervous as I cannot eat hundreds of pounds of pasta by myself. I know I like pasta, but not that much. To repeat myself, we charge $10 for adults and $5 for students. We take all this as donation. As a matter of fact, I got an idea tonight to see a gentleman. We raise money one for the Italian Honor Society to buy the plaques, the pens, certificate, and also to alleviate the trip to Italy, because I've been taking students to Italy. It's a beautiful experience to share knowledge with other countries, and a culture with other countries. Mayor, last week after the storm, I met people on the street, many people call me and complaining, mainly about the tickets. Some complaints about the snow, but it was really heavy snow, so really, I'm sure the guys did the best they could. After that, I went to see Chief Ingrassalino, and I told him about the complaints I received. And the two of us discussed perhaps to reverse 911, to inform people ahead of time to remove the cars, give them enough time to remove the cars. And matter of fact, today was the experience. I received the alert call. I think it's a good idea.
Thank you.
Because I do everything I can, I guess I have nothing else, man.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Mr. Chewinski?
Yeah, Mayor, very briefly, the reorganization meeting for the Joint Insurance Fund will be the 19th, Wednesday, 5 o'clock. There'll be a new appointments to the board. I'm still on the committee for the claims on the workman's comp.
Where's that at, Mr.?
That's at Lodi City Hall. I was at the county meeting last night, their work meeting, they're getting organized. Some familiar faces are returning to the county, Wolfgang to the parks again, and some other familiar faces. And while I was there, it was a limited amount of people, so I did have time to talk to some of the people about our park, Artesian Fields. Also, I talked to them about the widening of River Road, if we can get into the loop and maybe continue River Road, which we're talking about widening. It will be going on in Garfield in the spring. They will be widening River Road from Outwater Lane all the way past Martha, to Martha. The bottleneck will be at Martha, where it goes under the Parkway, or what's that, 46 there, where it comes into Langen's piece on River Road. I'm going to petition the county with the council's permission to see if we can get some funding to finish it the rest of the way. And on that note, Mayor, that's it. Oh, congratulations to the fighters and the new officers. And again, my condolences to the Adamo family.
Thank you. Mr. Castiglia?
Yes, Happy New Year, everybody. I'd like to talk about the storm a little bit. I guess I've been involved in snow removal or working in the snow for probably 40 years, better than 40 years. 1968, I think I started in that. This was one of the worst ones that I can remember. Not only for the rate of the snow as it was falling, there was times during the night it was falling 3 and 4 inches in an hour. Not only that, but you had 50-mile winds blowing. Now, I'm still in the business. I take care of an 85-acre campus now where I'm in charge, and I have 2 10-man crews out there working when the snow is falling, which is more than this town has to take care of the entire town. We had a guy plowing a main road which was about a mile long, just to give people an understanding of exactly what was going on Sunday night especially. He plowed this main road 3 times in an hour, and every time he went over that road there was 8 inches of snow on it. Now, it wasn't just the snow falling from the sky, it was the wind blowing it around. So it was the kind of storm, even after it ended, even after the snow stopped, you had another day of the wind blowing the snow, which was basically the same thing as you were dealing with the day before. So I know, like I said, our DPW has a lot less guys than I do, and I have a lot smaller area to handle than they do. So I can imagine what they were going through Sunday and Monday night, trying to keep up with this storm. I did speak to Scott a couple of times, the superintendent. He called me up 3:30 in the morning on Tuesday. The guys were just going back to work. He gave them 12 hours off to go home and go to sleep. So they were out probably 12, 16 hours, went home for 12, came back again for another 12 just to keep up. The people have to understand, it wasn't a 3-inch snowfall. It was probably close to 30 inches. And like I said, well, you saw it yourself, with the wind blowing, it was almost up to the soffit of my house, on the side of the house. It was a big job. So is it perfect? Was every road perfect out there today? No, it wasn't. But like I said, it wasn't that kind of a snowstorm. It was one that I can only remember a couple worse than this in 40 years. I want to give them a lot of credit. I think they did a good job. And as everybody knows, we're expecting another one tomorrow. Not too big.
We hope.
But they're saying a big one might be coming in Monday or Tuesday. So anybody, well,
We hope.
you people at home aren't going to get a chance to see this before Monday or Tuesday, but I hope everybody can do anything possible, whatever they can do. Get the cars off the road, however you can do it. Give these guys a chance to serve the people of the town and open these roads up. You have to get ambulances through, fire trucks. Wherever you can get your car off the road, if you could do that, please do it. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank
Oh,
you.
Mr. Castelli, can I say something, Mayor,
Yeah.
regarding the snow? Many towns are Totowa. What they do is they plow the parking lot, high school parking, or the school parking lots, and they tell people, go put your car over there. Maybe it's an idea, Mayor, we could do that.
I think,
We can try that if the school
Mayor,
board,
we-
if the school board plows it out early enough and they go in, but we can talk about it.
Maybe we should do that. So, people don't have anywhere to park in this town.
it's something to talk about, sure.
Right, we should talk about this.
I
Mr.
mentioned that- I
Wirt?
mentioned that to the chief last week.
Yeah, I think somebody mentioned Kmart parking.
One more thing, they're talking about the fire hydrant should be dug out in front of the house.
Oh, the people?
Yep.
Yeah, if that fire hydrant's in front of your house, you're more or less responsible to dig that thing out. Want to keep it open. If the fire truck comes down the street and has to get to it, hopefully, you don't want to, you hope that it's not your house on fire, but you're going to need to get to that fire hydrant. So while you're out there doing your sidewalk, another 5 minutes. Thank you.
Mr. Work?
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. Once again, the Elmwood Park Health Department will be continuing to offer a free adult consultation and child health care clinics to all residents of Elmwood Park for 2011. And just to go over it, the adult consultation clinic includes consultation with a registered nurse from Hackensack Hospital and will provide free blood pressure screening. The next adult consultation clinic will be held on January 18th. It's Tuesday morning from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. at a private clinic room in the municipal building. The child health care clinics, which includes free immunizations for infants up to 18 years, a pediatrician, and registered nurse are on site. And the next child health care clinics will be held on January 6th, which is a Thursday morning from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. And then the following will be on February 3rd, once again on Thursday morning from 9:30 a.m. to 11 a.m. The Elmwood Park also still offering the 4 free vaccines provided by the AER program. These will be also offered at the next adult consultation clinic, which is being held on January 18th. Once again, the flu season is here. The Elmwood Park Health Department will be offering flu shots at that adult health consultation clinic, and you can also call to make arrangements to come down to the Elmwood Park Board of Health to get your seasonal flu shot. Now, I guess my talking about these flu shots must be working because apparently New Jersey has not been hit by an outbreak yet. New York has, Pennsylvania, Massachusetts, so something must be working here. The charge for the flu shots is $25 for participants of 18 to 64 years old, and participants 65 years of age or older will be free with a proof of Medicare B coverage. And I also want to mention to all dog and cat owners in Elmwood Park that January is the month to renew your dog and cat licenses. Renewals can be done via mail or in person. You can stop by the Elmwood Park Board of Health daily from 8:30 a.m. to 4:30 p.m. During the week to renew your license. Thank you, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Mr. Conboy?
Thank you, Mayor. I would just like to first start with, I'd like to commend and thank all of our members of our DPW, our White Collar Union, and all of our department heads. Earlier on tonight in the business section, business portion of our meeting this evening, a number of things were voted on regarding the White Collar Union, DPW, and our department heads regarding our upcoming budget. We have jointly, all together here, worked very hard on this particular budget. We all know how the governor has put on a 2% cap and so forth. As we all agree, we want to help our residents as well to get our taxes down, and that's been happening here for a long time. And we're continuing to work just as hard to try to do everything we can within our power to get it down as much as we possibly can. As I've said over the last 3 years as being finance chair, we have anything that we have control over as far as our piece of the budget, which is really the smallest piece of the pie, we've done everything we possibly can. And with some of the projections we're looking at right now, we will come in under, of course, we have to, but we've had several meetings with our auditor, our CFO, department heads. It's an ongoing process. It just doesn't start at one meeting and end. The next day, our clerk, our mayor, who's here during the day, is constantly speaking with our department heads and our CFO to see what we can keep doing as we get closer to this finalization of our budget. Of course, there are pieces out of our control. For example, the school board budget, which you'll be voting on this April. That will play a big part in our budget, of course, and of course, that is up to you, the residents, on what happens in that area. But I want to, again, commend all these individuals who are part of this piece here tonight, because we don't know what 2012 is going to look like. You can listen to every Wall Street expert and so forth, the governors, all of his aides, from both sides of the aisle, Republicans and Democrats at the Trenton level are concerned even more so about 2012 as well as 11. So this was a joint work progress. It's a work in progress here. It was a strategic finance move to do for the borough, and I just want to thank all of them for helping us out here in this particular piece, so that next year we're lining up all of our contracts will now be all together. The police, the white collar, the DPW, and those three, which play a major part in our budget. So I want to thank everybody for all their hard work on that. I'd also like to thank Gary, our outgoing chief, Gary Ruglia, for the great job he has done, and keep our residents safe, and all the work by all the men and women in the fire department. And good luck to our chief again, Mike Sulik, on another great term as a fire chief. I'd also like to also congratulate at the high school level. All of our winter sports are in full swing, and just want to congratulate a young man, Ryan Valez. He played basketball in 7th, 8th grade over at St. Leo's. He chose to stay home and play here at Elmwood Park, and during the holiday break, he broke the 1,000-point barrier, and that's not easy to do at the high school level. It's not done every day, so congratulations, Ryan, on that great success, and let's hope our basketball team keeps up their great pace that they're on. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, Mr. Conboy. Mr. Boncino,
Yes, Mayor, thank you. I'd like to-
Council President.
Council President. Congratulations. Taking a different chair?
You must be my favorite. You never said that when I was mine.
I said it 3 years, 2 years ago, 1 year ago, 5 years ago.
Just trying to break up the,
You guys done? All right.
keeping it live.
I'd like to start off just congratulate our new officers on our fire department. I'd like to thank the fire department for their service to our residents, wish them a safe and uneventful 2011. Relative to the tickets and the last snowstorm, as police commissioner, I did go to speak to Chief Ingrassalino after I read a couple of the articles in the paper, and the articles really didn't make sense to me. I just couldn't believe that they were accurate the way I read, the way they were portrayed in the media. And sometimes there's two sides to every story and reality somewhere in between. But the chief went through with me, he did a detailed analysis of the summonses that were issued the week of the snowstorm. No summonses for parking were issued on Elmwood Terrace. 2 were issued for careless driving at Elmwood Terrace and the Boulevard. 2 summonses were issued in front of homes for parking on Donor Avenue. 27 summonses were issued on the Boulevard on Tuesday morning after the police warned the residents on Monday that we wanted to clear the streets. So that's the accurate portrayal of what transpired subsequent to the snowstorm. As Councilman Caramagna mentioned, we did a reverse 911. I think it went out today. Our Office of Emergency Management is requesting cars be moved off the street so we could clear them. If cars are parked in an area that's marked no parking when snow covered, summonses will be issued. So that's just a note to the residents. The signs are pretty clear. In December, we had a DWI checkpoint. There's an article in Community News on Route 46, and the article summarized the events of that night, but 19 arrests were made over the course of that DWI. In 2010, 240 arrests were made by the Elmwood Park Police for DWI. I'd like to congratulate Officer Mike Prelick, who effected 55 DWI arrests in 2010. And that is probably one of the highest in the state of New Jersey. Maybe the state police top that. Do you want to change tapes? I have kind of a lot here.
You want to change now? Okay, we're going to have a short intermission.
He's been standing there since Steve lived. Oh, yeah? You and Mr. Sweeney think you're both the greatest. Oh, yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're going back on the record, please. Mr. Kaplan, please.
Sorry, Mayor.
Thank you. We're back on the record. Mr. Boncino, would you continue, please?
Thank you, Mayor. The remainder of my report is relative to some action I had from our last public meeting of 2010 relative to crossing guards and a one-way on Gilbert. Again, I was given some action to speak to the police chief regarding the situation. The first is relative to the crossing guards, and one resident was commenting on the lack of crossing guards at the St. Anne's bus stop at East 54th and Polk Court. And she further went on to say that she was threatened via an attempt to move the bus stop after her first appearance at a public session. So I took the action to discuss this with the chief. And as we tried to describe at that last meeting, there was an assessment made to see if we could utilize resources more efficiently by potentially moving a stop so it would be co-located where children cross and we could have a stop there. After the assessment that the police had performed, they concluded that it did not make sense to move that stop, and it was left at Polk Court and East 54th Street. So there was really no threatening. I think we were just trying to utilize assets to the best of our ability. That location at East 54th and Polk Court is a bus stop, and there's not much crossing based on the police analysis. It's more waiting for the bus as opposed to crossing East 54th Street. Locating the guard, the other issue was locating the crossing guard at 16th and East 54th, and the resident suggested that maybe one or two children cross at that location. That decision was made jointly between the police chief and the superintendent of schools. In fact, that was a recommendation made by the school officials that guard would be best utilized at East 54th Street. So the bottom line is that the chief will continue to monitor the locations of the crossing guards and will adapt as the situation warrants. Now, the other issue was the one-way at Gilbert Ave, and Ms. Kolonowski and Ms. Rudman both expressed concern about the governing body's rejection of the school superintendent's proposal to change Gilbert Ave to a one-way. It was suggested by Ms. Rudman that the council was not emphasizing safety, and in fact, in last week's community news, Councilman Carmagna seemed to suggest the same thing, that the council has turned a blind eye to safety. So I would just like to reiterate what sort of transpired since the request from the Board of Education, from the superintendent. The superintendent requested the one-way on Gilbert. The mayor and council, we carefully considered the request and debated and discussed alternatives. And we thought the best course of action was to have our police department and our police chief look into the situation there and then report back to us. Chief Ingrosolino did analyze the situation at Gilbert Avenue, and he determined that the traffic conditions were limited to a very narrow window of time, both in the AM and the PM, and recommended no action to the mayor and council. We discussed it with the chief. We concurred with the chief's recommendation, but requested that he monitor the situation and provide any future recommendations for improvements. Mrs. Kolonowski went on to ask whether any of us had been down to Gilbert Ave, and while the mayor had, I honestly probably haven't been there during a school dismissal since I last left school in June of 1979. So that following morning, I went down at 7:30 on December 17th to observe firsthand what that situation might be. Essentially, there was no traffic between 7:30 and 7:55. There were no issues as described by residents, by the superintendent in his letter. The bulk of the congestion or traffic occurred within a 5-minute window around 8 o'clock. I imagine school starts at 8 o'clock, so that probably makes the most sense. No residents on Gilbert Ave on the south side of the street attempted to leave their driveway while I was there on that one day. There was one parked car on the north side, the school side of Gilbert Ave, that did cause some bottlenecking, and I'll address that in a little while. The predominant traffic issues that I observed were, one, parents stopping on the eastbound side of Gilbert Ave, letting their kids out and cross outside of a crosswalk to the school. That was a major hazard for the kids. The other issue that I observed that was quite unsettling is after children were being dropped off, parents driving well in excess of 25 miles per hour down Gilbert Avenue. And in both of those situations, I don't think a one-way will help those situations at all. There was some queuing at River Road to make a left turn, and again, most of that occurred around 5 to 8 and 8 o'clock, and quickly dissipated after 8 o'clock. I discussed all the three issues with our police department and Chief Ingrassalino. They are exploring with the county limiting left turns on River Road between a certain window of time. And potentially, we may want to modify parking on the north side of Gilbert Ave. I will request that the police continue to monitor the situation in front of the high school and issue summonses to parents or guardians who are violating either speeding or jaywalking ordinances and traffic laws and creating the hazardous condition that exists down there. And at the end of the day, I didn't see anything that would warrant making the street a one-way. I think the chief was right on with his recommendation to us. There is a need to keep a watch down there what's going on, though. It's unfortunate that the situation is really being prompted by a small minority of parents who really can't obey the traffic laws. I hope the school officials will take the time to look at that together with the BOE and try and reinforce with their families the importance of following traffic regulations and maybe explore options such as alternative drop-offs, maybe in front of the school, on the opposite side of the school, or maybe modifying the window somewhat to kind of disperse the cars over a larger time period. In any event, the police will continue to monitor, and we have a couple of ideas that we might want to implement short of making it a one-way. So that's my report.
Thank you, Mr.
Mr. Rosino.
Wait a minute, excuse me.
Yeah, Mayor.
Anything else?
Can I answer?
Okay.
Mr. President?
Yeah.
I listen, you were there only once. Maybe it was one of those lucky days. There was not that much traffic.
I will definitely go
I
back
live
again.
on 126 Gilbert Avenue. The traffic's all the way by my house. Many days. And I work at the school, and I see there, the traffic is not 5 minutes. It's more, maybe 10 good minutes. I say the only thing you need is 15 minutes. Now, if you have a policeman at the corner there, right? If you have a policeman on a corner by Gilbert and River to direct the traffic, maybe it'd be easier. Because what happens is people drop off the kids. Mr. Danova, Mary Danova, they're my neighbors here. Yeah. I'm sure they see the same thing I see. I go to work at a time, and to get to the parking lot takes forever because people drop off the kids and people behind them, and people they're in a hurry to go to work, and they make those illegal returns. Yes, they should be given fine, but why can we make the little spot one? It's only one block, and most of the people they don't mind. I spoke to some people right there, and they told me they don't mind, and also. I don't know. You guys want to win by wording to make somebody look bad? You say what you expect, like, twisted things around. You do whatever you want to. I told you what I tell you was the truth, and I'll leave it right there.
I think we can discuss this at the work meeting.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Thank you for a good report. Mr. Giblin, no report? Just a couple things on my report before we open it to the public. I also, Mr. Truinsky, spoke to some people at the county, and I think we might have some relief with county police helping us out with River Road when they start the construction with Garfield and that little park that they're building. So I don't want to get into it now, but we're looking at that. And I also spoke to Mr. Wolfgang Albrecht, who is the new county recreation director, park director, who had that position, by the way, when the property was purchased from Garfield. So he's well familiar with that. And he is the gentleman, along with the former executive Pat Schuber, who said we need about $20-30 million, if that much, to do the Overpeck Park instead of $100+ million. So we're going to be working with them. I don't want to give too much information out until we can sit down with them, but they seem to be willing to work with us to get a park going there. As for the 911 reverse, prior to, I think a couple months ago, we could not do that free. Now we're getting that help from the county to have a reverse 911, and it'll be interesting to see, ladies and gentlemen. It was delivered today. Everybody in town got that message. If it snows tonight, it'll be interesting to see how many people move their cars so that the plows can go through. Almost every street, if not every street in town, has a sign saying, "Do not park if street is snow covered." That means do not park when street is snow covered. The situation that happened in the apartments is that on Monday and Tuesday we have parking on one side of the street or the other, and it happened to be Tuesday. As Mr. Boncino indicated, no tickets were given out till after the snowstorm. I would also like to comment on the editorial that just made Elmwood Park look terrible about we're giving out tickets to people, we're not giving them time. When we put up a sign on the road that says no parking when street is snow, covered with snow, that means no parking. That means if we get 30 inches of snow or 25 inches of snow, it doesn't mean, well, when you come out, we'll go back and plow. It's because of the large snowstorm that we want the cars off the road. And it's not something new. We've been doing that 15, 20 years, those signs are up. And the record indicates, well, maybe we can have people call if they're invalid, if they're handicapped. We're not cruel people, but how do we do that? We have one car because somebody can't get out of the house, have another car. It's got to be done. And if you know there's a snowstorm coming, please move it. That would help the plows. I have a report here that I thought Mr. Castiglia would give up. It's from our superintendent of the Public Works. Overtime costs us $13,000. It's not much. Men worked very diligently to do that, and they came back. They did it during the day. We had 2 breakdowns for $1,800. These trucks can't plow without breaking down. They were in accidents. I called the superintendent personally, and I said, how are we doing with the snow removal? And he said, I don't know, Mayor, I'm stuck. I'm in a truck. So he had to call another truck to come and help him out. We had a pickup truck, cost $3,500 because the transmission went. We have almost 50 miles of roads in town. Takes a while. We have, Mr. Cars, how many cul-de-sacs or dead ends do we have? You told me one time. 26 cul-de-sacs and dead ends. And we use a little truck to go in there, and there was so much snow they had trouble getting in and cleaning it out. We submitted a $41,000 report for reimbursement to FEMA, and hopefully we'll get that. We submitted 2 snowplow vouchers to the Bergen County roads totaling $13,500. And to Mr. Cars' benefit, who is always thinking ahead, we ordered 100 tons of salt last year when the county was indicating that if you need more salt, come pick it up, you pay for it at a reduced price. We have the salt shed, and he went down, picked up a significant amount of salt at a reduced price. That's saving us thousands of dollars in doing that. And Scott, thank you very much, and all your men. For the few people that we had, and I don't mitigate that, some people had their roads were not plowed properly, or for whatever reason they were unhappy. I have a significant number of people who said DPW did a decent job plowing under the conditions. And I've been out in the plow during a snowstorm. It's not easy. It's not easy. That vehicle goes wherever the snow wants it to go sometimes. So we have to understand that and take it into consideration. And again, I'll repeat, we had a message go out on the phones, take your cars off the street. If my wife doesn't have her car in my driveway, my daughter has her car in the driveway and I can't get it in the garage, my personal car is parked on my front lawn. Ladies and gentlemen, maybe frozen. It's not going to hurt the lawn. I pull my car on the lawn, and I shovel and back it out. And guess what? When the plow comes by, he's very close to the curb. No one there. But when you're weaving in and out, it's very, very difficult. And in the editorial of the paper, it indicates that there's a mayor of a large city in New Jersey is out helping the people push their cars or whatever. God bless him. God bless him. If I could get out of my house, I might do the same thing. I had to start from the back door and go all the way to the front because I couldn't open my front door. And does this mean that council people who are elected to office, and one lady who's the mayor of Cresskill, won't give a name? Yes, I will. Sophia Hyman. She's been there a long time. She's getting on in years. Does it mean she has to get a shovel when we run for office? Are we supposed to get a shovel to do it? I don't think that's our job necessarily, but I know some of these councilmen have done that. And I also want to indicate that we had an assemblywoman ask, give up tickets, go say, remove the tickets, have them abolished. We can't do that. She was a councilman. She didn't go to Paramus and say, listen, he had a problem, don't give him a ticket. We can't do that. The judge has to do that. So it makes us look bad. I'm not going to go to the judge and say, give him all the tickets, or go down to the police chief and say, forget about the tickets. It's not my job. Legally, we can't do that. And I think the thing that upsets me most, and I didn't respond to the record on their editorial, I don't want to get into that, but I'm responding here to you people in the audience. We have many, many people who go help their neighbors, who know if their neighbor has a problem, and they go out and help. I saw that myself going through town, people helping each other. It's not something that Elmwood Park wouldn't do for neighbors. And I have to tell you, with people with snow blowers, hey, sometimes they do half the block. The only thing I wish they would do is turn the nozzle so it goes on the house side and not on the street side. We have a booklet we put out. It's called the Waste Watchers. It's got a full page in that booklet telling you how to shovel your snow, get your cars off the street, and the best way to do it. Read the booklet. Help us out. Help the DPW out. Get off the road as much as possible, and we can plow as quickly as possible. And then I've gotten some calls saying, slow the trucks down. I just shoveled my sidewalk, and it blew it back on the side. Wait till the trucks go through, do their job, and shovel your sidewalk. You have to understand that when we have these big plows, pick up a lot of snow in front of them, especially when you have this much snow. If you don't get a good head of steam up, your truck's not going to push it. So understand the difficulties with that. And I appreciate all the help the residents of Elmwood Park have given to each other. And I appreciate this council if they had the opportunity to go out and help some of the neighbors. And it's not just the mayor of a large city. I don't know where he lived. I couldn't get out of my house. Maybe he can get out. God bless him. I wish him luck. But there are other communities who had the problem. And as Mr. Boncino indicated, and I'm getting riled up, the tickets were all wrong, okay? And there were certain tickets on the boulevard, the major street in our town. Move the cars so we can do the boulevard. Keep this in mind, and Mr. Cars has told me over the years, we have to clear the main streets first before you can get out of your cul-de-sac. Because if you get out of your cul-de-sac and you can't go down the main street, where are you going? And ladies and gentlemen, for all that are here and maybe watching on TV, my street is 1 block long. It's not the first one done, because if it's the first one done, where am I going to go? It's usually the next to last one done. Thank you. I also want to congratulate Estelle Rondello for being appointed Status of Women Committee. Is that correct?
The Commission on the Status of Women.
Commission of Status of Women. Well, I applaud you for doing that, and we know you'll do an excellent job. I think we have that, and before we get criticized in the Bergen Record again, I wish they would get all their information first, and if we have an assemblywoman who represents us, my phone is listed. Call me. Call the DPW. Call Mr. Mr. Castiglia, who's in charge of the liaison to the DPW. Don't make the statements, and then it's wrong. We are compassionate people. We want to help each other. You're not going to get votes by saying, we look the other way. And I have here the list of committees and liaisons that this council is going to have this year. It's not a major change. As a matter of fact, the list of committees and liaison positions are the same as last year. If you got a good thing going, why change it? So I will distribute these at the end of the meeting. At this time, if there's anyone in the audience who wishes to be heard, please come up, give your name and address.
Joe DeNova, 130 Gilbert Avenue.
Joe, just pull that down a little bit.
I can't reach it.
Okay.
I can't reach it. Joe DeNova, 130 Gilbert Avenue. I live next door to Frank. I didn't know Frank was going to talk about Gilbert Avenue, but 1970, I'm there 43 years. 1977, 78, or 79, they made a one-way down Gilbert Avenue. The only reason they did that was because there was cars parked on both sides of the street, and the emergency vehicles couldn't get through. The fire trucks, the ambulance, and the police department.
From Spidell to Elm.
One person at a time, please.
Yeah, it went from Spidell to Elm, okay? Now, the only problem I got with this here new alignment that they got down here, when the people come up from River Road, up Gilbert Avenue, they come right up this Spidell one way. And there's signs down there saying one way at Elm, but in Patterson, they got signs that light up, stop signs that light up. I think Keith could find out from my nephew, right, Keith? Yes, sir. There's about five intersections in Patterson that's got these stop signs that light up. And they, maybe they could see that. That's it. Now, Frank and I, we got to travel 6 blocks to get home, which is no problem. It's only gas. Okay, now, I got another problem on Gilbert Avenue. If I can, the school teachers were told a couple of years back not to. If you can't force them not to park there, but at 7:30, 8 o'clock, there's 18 cars from the school parked on Gilbert Avenue. Okay, we got 11 homes on Gilbert Avenue. There's 33 cars in 11 homes. Now comes the people that bring the kids to school. They got no place to leave them off. They're double parked. They're in my driveway. They're in Frank's driveway. They're in everybody's driveway, and there's no cop there to keep them moving. Same thing at 3 o'clock. If I go out to shopping at 3 o'clock, I can't get in my driveway. Now, I don't understand why they can't park on Spidell Avenue.
We've indicated that
Huh?
in the past. We've indicated that we request that the teachers park in the school parking lot, Gilbert
Right.
Avenue parking lot,
Right.
instead of on the street in front of your house,
Right.
so that you can't park on the street in front of your house all day long.
Okay, I'm talking about along the football field.
Yeah, the whole area.
Nobody parks there at all. They park in the parking lot, some of them.
Now, wait a minute, there's no parking on one side of the street, and the teachers park on the other side of the street, right?
Well, what street you talking about, Gilbert?
Gilbert Avenue.
They park on both sides.
Okay.
Yeah,
We've requested that the school administration in the past ask the teachers to park in the parking
Okay.
lot so you can park in front of your own house.
what was the principal's name last year? Fedor?
Theodore?
He was the first guy to park on Gilbert Avenue after you just told him. Okay? Now they all park there. There's 18 cars from teachers that park on Gilbert Avenue. You can't force them not to park. It's legal. Now, Mr. Castiglia has signs put up for the lease, right? First Frank tried. Nobody would give him the right time. So
Well, we give Mr. Catamagna the right time all the time.
No, you don't.
Sometimes he doesn't look at his wristwatch, that's the only problem.
So anyway, finally, Mr. Castiglia has signs put up, okay? Now it comes near the end, there's 6 cars parked there on a Wednesday. I called the police department. They came and they called the school. Next thing you know, I got 7 people running out of school to move their cars.
I
Okay?
hope there was somebody in the classroom.
Anyway, now, we
Can I
got,
ask can I ask one question, Mr. Denovo?
Yes.
All right, I work, I got a regular job, so I'm not available to come down there during the day and see what's going on. But I think it was on Wednesday mornings, we had the signs out for the leaves, between 9 and noon or something like that?
Yeah.
So obviously, these people are finding someplace else to park
exactly.
during those 3 hours, well, probably for most of that day, unless they
Exactly.
their car after noon.
Wait, what, I don't understand.
Do you know where they're parking on Wednesday mornings during leaf season?
No,
In the
Park-
school parking
Are
lot.
they going to the school parking lot?
I don't know where they're going.
Well, they're finding someplace to park, I'm sure.
But anyway,
That means that they can do that.
why can't we have signs put up there on a Wednesday only?
You know what we can do for you? We can send another letter through our clerk to the principal of Gilbert Avenue School, if the council agrees. Ask them to park in the parking lot and not on the street of Gilbert Avenue.
And free it for the people.
And if that doesn't work, if the people in the area that you live, Mr. Catamagna, and you want no parking at between 1 and 2 p.m. during school hours, we can put signs up over there, and then they're going to have to leave the school and move their cars. That's one way of doing it. And they would park in the parking lot. We do have a school parking lot. It may be a little further to walk, but that's the same problem, if I may, and get myself in trouble, that's the same problem you have when you talk about Gilbert Avenue one way. No one wants to walk a little longer
Exactly.
to get into the school, and they have the one way going down. The problem that we have there is cars coming up from River Road on Gilbert Avenue are letting the people off on the south side of Gilbert Avenue, and the kids are running, jaywalking across the street. They should be able to go around and go into the parking lot and let the kids off in the parking lot. On the Gilbert Avenue parking lot, the front of the school on River Drive parking lot, or as Mr. Boncino said, even on the other side of the school, the north side of the school. And that would help. But it's not going to help having kids, and this was brought up by an individual here at one of the council meetings. You can't have the kids jaywalking across the street. They're going to get hurt doing that, whether it's one way or two ways, if they just continue to jaywalk.
That's what's happening over by us. And then they start blowing the horn at 8 o'clock in the morning when they're leaving the kids off over there. But, okay. Now, can I ask a question about why do the plows come up Gilbert Avenue?
I would suspect, and the superintendent will question it if I'm wrong, they travel the way the traffic moves.
Well, the traffic it's one way coming down.
Oh, you mean on the
They come
one-way?
the wrong way with the plow truck?
Yeah.
They can change the plow either way, but I'll ask the superintendent how they does it later, and we'll see. They can change the plow to put the snow on one side.
And they're going, well, I don't want to squeal on them.
They did a great job.
They did a good job.
You said they went the wrong way, Joe.
They did a good job. They
You
did a
know,
good job.
May I interrupt you? May I interrupt you? You have a daughter here, I've got 3 daughters, 2 granddaughters, and when they say they did a great job, I'm not going to argue with it.
Now,
She sold you out,
Frank,
Joe.
Frank and I just got done, I paid Tom's cousin by marriage $70 to do my house. Right, and we just got done, right, Frank? What happens? Whoop, the driveway gets all plowed in.
Thank you,
Because they're coming up.
thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to be
Oh,
heard?
no.
You're still done?
No, I'm not done yet. Now, another problem. No, this got nothing to do with nothing else. Now, I got a scooter from the VA. Now, I travel on sidewalks, but from the boulevard to 54th Street to go to the deli, there's about 6 houses over there that don't have no sidewalk. Is there an ordinance that they have to have a sidewalk?
Where is this again?
On Gilbert Avenue, but the boulevard.
Yes, that's the Garfield, the Garfield
No,
Water Works.
I'm talking about on the south side, this side. The sidewalks.
On Gilbert Ave.
Yeah, there's woods on the other side.
I'm
but-
going
but,
to
whoa.
defer that to Councilman
No,
Work.
there is an area, there is no sidewalks.
And those houses probably were built before sidewalks were demanded. They are
Okay.
demanded now.
Now, when I ride the scooter, there's a lot of homes that don't have sidewalks. People got to walk in the street to bring their kids to the school bus.
I've already asked the attorney, a while back, even if the house is sold, can we demand that a sidewalk put in if there wasn't there? Mr. Attorney?
Now, once the development is approved, the subdivision or whatever it might be, you have to go by whatever the ordinance are at the time. So if sidewalks were required, they would have been put in. Apparently, these houses were built before that was a requirement, and you can't go back and make them do it. The town could go in and put them in and assess that to, everybody in the area, but, towns don't normally do that.
Thank you.
Okay.
And Happy New Year, everybody.
Thank you.
Hey, Happy New Year. Mary DeNova Goldberg. I had no intention of speaking, but I have to go against him. The DPW did a great job. Okay, he's got this plow thing happening. They did a great job. I was out of the house Monday at 2:30, driving all over. I was through I really was. I had no problem. They did a great job. You know what? I ran into Kmart about 2 weeks ago after work. It was pitch dark, 5:30. I needed, I guess, wrapping paper right before the holidays. I wouldn't get out of the car. I was scared. It's pitch black.
Where, in the Kmart parking lot?
Yep.
Okay.
And the only other thing is Gilbert is a disaster. We could talk about it till the cows come home. I get a little, I won't say nervous sometimes, but if one of them have to go to the ER between 2:30 and 3:30 or 7 and 8 o'clock in the morning, we're not getting off the street. Some days my daughter comes home between classes. She has no place to park. We're not nasty people. We just don't want our driveway blocked. My daughter was in St. Leo's, Mr. Tawinski, Mr.
interrupt
Conboy,
you?
of course.
Would you want us to talk to the Board of Education about getting the cars off? And if not,
You know-
wait a minute, wait, and if they don't, would you like the council to consider putting a no parking for just 1 or 2 hours so that the teachers park in the lot?
Between Spidell, I think it was about 32 years ago, I remember, I think I was in high school. Spidell to Elm was made a one-way. I don't really recall the reason why. I only know, God forbid, between those hours in the morning or the afternoon, if something happens, there's going to be a problem. Mr. Vancino, everything you said was true, accurate. I think I left for work a little later this morning and almost killed myself that I went that way. It took me about 11 minutes to get off Gilbert, and I'm across from Gilbert Ave School to River Road. That's neither here nor there. People buy homes, buy schools. You're supposed to expect certain things. I think the main problem that we have in this country is we live with idiots, people that don't move their cars, they don't follow the laws. Mr. Tawinski, Tom, we had kids in St. Leo's. If a note came home in our book bag and told us not to park somewhere, you're darn right we didn't park somewhere. So, something like that.
Sister Elaine would give you detention.
Mr. Kaplan? School board. If you can make it short, Mel, please.
Yes, Mayor, I will definitely make it short. Good evening, gentlemen. By the way, the DPW on Glenwood Avenue did a wonderful job.
That's in the apartments.
The apartment area, fantastic. The cars that were there got snowed in, normal, no problem. My problem is Elmwood Village themselves, multiple housing area, shoveled all the walks wonderfully, about 12 hours after whatever. Finally, they did a wonderful job. But they do not continue from the sidewalk to the curb in the depressed curb areas with the 2 signs, no parking between signs. That depressed curb is so if the fire department, ambulance, or whatever has to get into the court, they have to climb over a mountain of snow. What I would like this council to do, have some kind of an ordinance, somehow, some legal way, that multiple housing where there is depressed curb to shovel the snow to the street. So an ambulance, if they have to bring a gurney in, they don't have to take it over a mountain of snow. Or if the fire department has to get in there, schlep the hoses over mountains of snow to get into the back of the court. I think you understand me. With that, gentlemen, have a happy New Year.
Thank you. Is there anyone else who wishes to be heard? Estelle? We probably do.
Estelle Vandello, 36 Franklin Street. I just need a clarification on the no parking during snow. On my side of Franklin Street, there's the sign posted, "Snow's on the street, don't park." My tenant parks in my backyard, and the home health care people who help take care of my aunt park in my driveway. And on our Franklin Street from West Street to Grant, during this last snowstorm, there was no parking. Everybody was off the street. My question is, when the plow comes down, and it came down and it took care of the snow, is it supposed to go up to the curb, the sidewalk, to take all that snow away? Because in the past it has, I know this was an unusual one, this unusual snowstorm. And when I had the people come to shovel out my driveway and my walkway, I could have had them do some of that, but right now it's all ice because they couldn't come down. They were coming down, they came down often, and it was blacktop before not very long. But they didn't remove the snow next to the sidewalk on the street where cars were parked. So cars had to continue parking in the driveways and shuffling in and out.
I'll try to...
Was this just an unusual time? Because I don't recall it
Yes, it
happening.
was an unusual time. I'll try to answer that. You can ahead, huh?
Well, I think it's a judgment call when the guy's coming down the street. You want to get as close as you can to the curb, but you don't want to be throwing the snow up on the sidewalk or burying their driveway aprons. So you got to kind of find a medium point there where you're doing your job and not hurting the residents at the same time.
I understand. And the few times that I happened to see them come down, when it was snowing and when it was almost done, the plows were this way, angled this way, away from, they were coming down the center, and the plow was going this way, and my house and my road is this way. So it might have been just a one-time thing, because I don't remember it happening before, but now it's all ice, so I don't know what's going to happen after the snow this time.
We're all going to pray because everybody's cleaned out their own driveways. And
Yes.
there's still snow on one side and still snow on the other.
Right.
If it snows and the plows come by, they may hit those piles and put it right back in the driveway again, and then everyone's going to be upset. If you look at the waste watcher, it will tell you when you're shoveling out near your driveway, the direction of the traffic. Don't put any snow when you're clearing out the driveway on that side of the driveway. Put it on the other, so when the plow reaches that, it's going to be an empty spot, and it's not going to go into your driveway. It makes a lot of sense, and that's what the drivers will try to do. They try to get, even now, when I ride, and I know the council does too, you drive down the street and you see some snow that could be plowed, and you say, well, where do we put it? It's going to go back in the driveway again. So that's the difficult part. And let me tell you this, a little bit off your subject, but on it. If you're shoveling snow to get your car out, don't put it in the street again. I mean, we went up Donor Avenue a couple times, especially where the houses are and where the apartments are. They shovel it. I know it's a little bit more of a job to take the snow and carry it around, but once it goes in the street and it freezes there, we have a major problem. So please, anybody watching this or whatever, take the snow when you're shoveling your car out. Try to put it on the sidewalk or as close to the curb as you can, and don't throw it in the street because we're going to put it right back on again. Now, I don't know. I think I saw Mr. Cars, our superintendent, coming out of St. Leo's Church saying, I hope it's only 2 to 4 and not 7 to 9 or something like that, the way the wind is blowing and the curb is going.
3.6 inches tomorrow, that's what it's going to be. 3.6 inches. 3.6.
That's fine.
Now, Mr. Castiglia has always been a councilman for 3 years now. You never heard the mayor make prediction like that, because it's time will come back and bite you a little
Okay,
bit.
you've answered my question, I thank you, and Happy New Year to all of you.
Thank you. Anyone else who wish to be heard?
Battle of Beach Street.
If we can,
Bill Swin, Beach Street.
No reflection on you, Bill, but if we can keep it short, it's 10 o'clock.
Okay, I'll make it real short. First of all, Scott, always remember one thing. You're always 50% wrong. It doesn't make any difference what you do. So you do the best thing that you do, and I think you did a terrific job. And I can only judge by my own street and whatnot, but you did a terrific job. Now, secondly, Mayor, and I'm going to quit right away. You made mention before of the people that we have in this community who are so helpful. They help the neighbors and everything like that. Well, let me point out one guy standing right there. That guy, I'm telling you, he plows wherever there's snow. He plows.
You don't need a truck.
And I am telling you that Beach Street will always be clean. I can guarantee you this. And boy, there he is. That's the kind of heroes we have to talk about.
Thank you. You're
And I got a
absolutely right.
snowblower, but my place is plowed before I ever start. And who does it? There he is.
Thank you.
You guys know his name, don't you?
No, we don't know Bob.
Don't you know his name?
Thanks, Bill. Thank you.
We don't know Bob.
Nice
Thank
job.
you, Bill.
Nice job, Jeff.
Mayor, Council, my name is
Name
Bob.
and address for our clerk, please.
Bob Calabro, 18 Beach Street, as Mr. Schwinn alluded to. It's probably, and I'll try to be very brief, it's probably something furthest from our mind at this point in time on January 6th to talk about baseball, but it's a wonderful opportunity as a member and officer of the Elmwood Park Little League that we've been granted the permission to start another part of our charter, which is called the Challenger Program. And just to give you a little insight of what the Challenger Program is, it's for special needs, handicapped, physically handicapped, mentally challenged children from between the ages of 8 and 18. What our proposal is, and we've already gotten our charter information, we've already spoken to the Board of Recreation, we've been in contact with the Board of Education, the special services folks. Some of our parents who do have special needs children, including myself, have spoken with our caseworkers. We have graciously grasped this opportunity, and we are going to go forward with operating a Challenger program in addition to our regular Little League baseball program. And we will be doing probably a series of 3 to 6 games for these folks with practices on a Sunday afternoon. There's a lot of leagues in the local areas. Wayne has a big Challenger program. Clifton has one. Saddlebrook has a very good Challenger program. We feel as an organization this is something that we should certainly bring into this community. It's something that we can hopefully keep some of these folks that have been taken out of town and out of district, and my son has been out of district since he was 5 years old. And I have to tell you, it's something that I think we need as a community. The rest of the officers with the Little League certainly have grasped this opportunity, and we are going to go forward with it. We hope to have a good turnout. As I said, the distribution has gone through the schools. It's gone into community news. As a matter of fact, our article was in there yesterday. What I'd like to do is offer you these brochures that we are going to post around town. It's in the rec center. We've spoken with Ms. Puglisi, who's had some background in this and some training in this, and she's gone to some classes on it. We are going to graciously grasp this, and hopefully it'll grow like wildfire to get some of these unfortunate people out there, but give them the opportunity to experience a wonderful situation. Okay, so I'd like to just, if I could, offer this to take one and pass it down. As I said, the opportunity is wonderful. The amount of time that it will take from our organization or the other baseball organization is minimal. 2 or 3 hours on a Sunday afternoon to give these folks a wonderful, wonderful experience of Little League baseball.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And as I was saying, we have a lot of people in town who want to help each other. Bob Calabro, and what he's trying to do now is just an example of that. And we don't deserve an editorial in any paper indicating our people are less than other communities in helping each other. If there are no other questions, I would like to, yes.
Mayor, if I can, while Mike's coming up, I just
He's
wanna-
up.
just want to share with Bob real quick. As you all know, I also serve as liaison to Recreation, and they're only scratching the surface and getting that notice out about the Challenger League. I know Council, Mr. Work has a flyer, but being liaison to Recreation, I've already gotten a couple of calls at home of very heartfelt moms and families whose children, and the mayor loves baseball, it's one sport he grew up playing, are so happy to hear that their sons or daughters can get out there and now be like the regular kids and get out and play some baseball. So good luck with all that, guys. I hope it goes really well. Sorry.
Mike Bufus, 14 Phillip Ave. Question, I've already spoke to a couple of council members on the side, here and there, casually. Some trees behind my property. The branches are very dry and brittle. My neighbor and I are both very worried. We hear them cracking with every wind. And I inquired as to whether or not we can get them trimmed or have the trees cut down and leave a stump 6, 7 feet to hold the earth. Last conversation I had was with Mr. Castiglia, and he had said that the borough engineer was looking into finding out whether it was the borough's property or not. Now, nobody but you, Mr. Mayor, would remember how many years I've been here over the back wall of my property being pushed down by the property. When I first bought my house, I wanted to buy a piece of that property behind me. You said, no, the town's got plans for it. Then when the town was going to...
Excuse me, I said what?
The town might be having plans for it. I'm talking 23 years ago.
I'm having trouble
It's the Miller
remembering
Ave
what I
dead
did
end.
yesterday. As far as I know, let me just interrupt you a
Yes.
minute. I looked at the tax map just the other day. The property owned by the borough extends just a short bit past Miller Avenue, where it dead ends there and then drops down that big cliff. And the rest of the property does not belong to the borough.
Okay, well...
We can check that out.
Sunoco, I've checked with Sunoco, and they said that they paved all of the property that they had. They're up to their line.
Okay.
The rest is the town's. Now, you're saying the town is here. Who owns what's in the middle?
I can't answer that because I'm not sure right now. I'm not looking at it. I looked in the map, and all I saw was that little bit that belonged to the borough. What you're talking about, if there's any other property, it would be landlocked. Is that right?
It's all landlocked, yeah.
So
Because that's the property that the town was going to build a firehouse on about 10 years ago, and that's when Sunoco decided to pave the buffer, which took away
I
access.
don't recall any of that. I don't know how the fire department would put a firehouse on a landlocked piece of property.
Well, before Sunoco did it, there was plenty of room for access in and out.
Unless Sunoco owned
Now, the
it.
property goes from my house, the back of my house, to the back of the house on Lee Street.
Yeah, I'm not being confrontational with you, please understand that. I think we have to look at the tax map, see who owns the property, and then see about the trees and so forth. If it's borough property, which I don't think it is, but I may be wrong, then it's our business.
Okay, now, on the outside chance,
And
it turns
if
out...
it belonged to us and Sunoco paved it, they can't pave
Well,
our
no,
property.
this is only like from my back wall, maybe 15 feet back, there's a
Okay.
couple of dried out trees. Now, if it turns out, well, you say it's only a couple of feet off of Miller, and Sunoco says they went to their borderline, and this is landlocked, whose property is it?
You have to find out.
It would have to fall into borough property, right?
No, somebody must own it.
Well, not me, because I'm up to my 100 feet. I'm on a 50 by 100. I'm at my end.
Guess what? I'll find that out for you. I'll give the information to our clerk, and you can come down and get that.
Yeah, I'd like to get those trees taken care of before something comes down on somebody.
Okay. We'll find out whose property it is.
Excuse me?
We'll find out whose property it is.
Okay. Now, there's a lot of talk about the snow, and I'm not saying good, bad, or indifferent, but I do know...
You've got 4 minutes.
My street wasn't plowed until 15 hours after the last snowflake fell. It wasn't until Tuesday morning a snowplow came through. I don't know who was behind the wheel of the truck because I was asleep. But when they did come through, they were 8 inches off the ground, 7 feet 3 inches away from the curb, and there's no parking on my side, where they could have gone closer to the curb. I had trucks, I had a 35-foot moving truck stuck in front of my house on Monday in the snow. I made a couple of phone calls, I talked to a couple of councilmen, and they got back to me and saying, well, certain streets get priority because they're main arteries through the town, hence Lincoln, Washington, around that area. Washington, I could understand if the school is going to open, because that's the access road to the student parking lot. What I would like the council to do is to reevaluate the traffic pattern in Elmwood Park. Because Phillip Avenue, where I live, I will guarantee you gets more traffic in one day than Washington and Lincoln both do in a week. Everybody comes out from behind River Road, behind Markel. Since there's no Miller Avenue, I'm the first street they hit, and up that street 40, 45 miles an hour on any daily day. On any given day, they're doing that. It is a very busy street. I would hope that in the future, or something would be done to reevaluate the traffic patterns, and not only my street, but any other street that is a busy thoroughfare would get consideration to get a plow there a little sooner. I do have on my block many elderly people. If there's an emergency, an ambulance couldn't have gotten in there. I mean, a 35-foot moving truck was stuck. I know an ambulance or a police car was not going anywhere
We'll
down that
check.
street.
We're going to have to go for another break, but we'll check with Mr. Cars and find out. I was told that every street had been plowed once with the storm. But
No,
we'll
my
check.
wife and son stayed awake as long as they could. They went to bed 2:30 in the morning Tuesday, and
Okay.
no plow had been there yet.
We'll-
I mean, I'm not griping for my street. Reevaluate the traffic pattern of the borough.
Okay,
So we can get a fair plowing.
thank you.
All right.
Okay, we have how much time? 3 minutes. Anyone else? Oh, boy. Can you finish it in 3 minutes? Okay.
Kenneth Arabia, 34 Locust Street. Hey, Mayor, I told you many times, please fix the signs on the parking lot. There's no stop sign. There's no one-way streets. Nobody knows what's going on. And especially Tuesdays afternoons, it's murder in the parking lot.
That's court night. We
Yes.
understand that. The street behind the building.
And you have no stop
It's
signs.
not a one-way, it's a two-way.
It was a one-way you had in the beginning.
No, we have
It
houses.
was a one-way, yes, Mayor. I knocked the sign went down, these people knocked them down, and I put them away. I give it to the policeman.
Okay.
And I tell you, it was a one-way street. I was there
Locust
still.
is a one-way street.
No, I'm talking about the parking lot.
It's not a one-way street.
Yeah, the back of the parking lot, over here.
Okay.
It used to be back, you used to have stop signs, do not enter signs, all kind of signs up. And everybody kept knocking them down, and I keep picking them up, and nobody cared about picking them up.
We'll also check that out, and before it ends, I'm going to cut you short if I may, because we don't have the time. We have houses behind the parking lot. If it's a one-way street, how are they getting out of their houses?
It's a dead end.
It's a dead end.
It's a one-way. It's a one-way. It's been a one-way from the beginning, when you build that thing.
Elmhurst Street has houses on it. How can it be a one-way?
You had it going, take over Locust Street, Mulberry Street. Go straight down, turn in that road, come back around, and come out, and that way, that's where you had it, all one way.
Okay, we'll check into that. We'll check into that. If there are no other questions. He's talking about the parking
Yeah, the parking lot.
Yeah, the parking.
Parking lot's,
Parking lot, that's what I'm talking about.
oh, the parking lot. Yeah, that goes around one way.
It's one way, but you had time, but it's all gone, all the signs are
Yeah,
gone.
because we did have a sign on the street that said an arrow pointing one way, and it was wrong. And it was wrong. Thank you. May I have a motion to adjourn? Moved by Mr. Chewinski, second by Mr. Bonsino. All in favor, opposed, so ordered. Thank you very much. And before we get off, if you want to watch this on TV or on our website, it's www.elmwoodparknj.us. Thank you.